Yes. Uh, Good evening, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I'd like to invite the speaker, Mr. Kiriti Madina, who will talk about reducing AMR in aquaculture using emerging technology. I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you. You can start now.
Yeah. So good evening, each and all. Today, myself, Kiriti Madina, representing company called Robic Rufarm. We work on aquaculture automations. We work basically to develop devices that are meant to be um, helping farmers with the monitoring of their ponds and the sites they have. So specifically, if I talk in today's world, farmers are very much prone to some uncertain scenarios where they are forced to do some activities which are not appreciable by the healthy communities, those who consume aquatic food and all. So there are many activities meant to be done by the farmers in scenarios of urgency, where they use different kinds of antimicrobial substances to protect their crops and the creatures in their fields, is causing a very much drastic impact on the health conditions. Um, to be very much in a precise, if I say, I heard a story where people from West Bengal, Bihar, Jharkhand are coming out to Hyderabad to a hospital that is called AIG, American International Gastro related hospital, where people come there with a complaint generally for gastric issues and for stomach issues. And this generally is what the specialists say is because of consumption, excess of consumption of aquatic creatures that are being grown with the implementations of what say microbial resistant substances. So this can be a myth, but it's again a realistic fact today that many of the people, those who consume more aquatic creature that is being grown inland, not specifically if I say it's been caught wild, let's say if it is a marine shrimp or a fish. So this specific criteria of usage of AMR in aquaculture has to be somewhat mitigated in a way where we reduce the usage and in accordance to understanding the creature under the water um, is is something a need of an hour for us, and that is what we are working on. There are many like NAPs, National Action Plans for reduction of AMR. What say in the environment by the government too. There is a WHO framework also, but yeah, still we know we are very much far behind the initiation and the results of the initiation that we have taken. So at present, the priorities for us is to understand how a farmer is growing a creature, basically for a tenure of 90 days to 120 days, depending on what kind of creature is growing. So we at Robico Farm are developing a kind of device that records each and every activity of the farmer, not just it records the activity, it also records the parameters of water that is being where the creatures are being grown. So this helps not just the farmer but also a consumer to get a data of the creature what they might be purchasing it from the market. So herein we make some devices that gives parametrical qualities of water, let's say the pH, or temperature, ammonia nitrates. Apart from that, we are having a crop ledger to the farmers there, in which we have an option of using their phone cameras, uploading the images of the creature um, each and every time, and also give the details of the feed that they put in. What are the ingredients they are having in the feed? Apart from that, we have many other subjects where farmer has to do their daily uploads, not just to have a pure intimation to us that we grow normally, but even to the purchasers, the exporters, those who purchase from the farmers. They can publish this data to them. They can even have this data enabled to the people whenever there is a problem of logistic issues, there is a problem of insurance claims, etc., etc. So basically, in the government's approach towards AMR reduction, there is a subject of point where surveillance and reporting is being taken into what's the considerations. So now we once we generate the data of each and every pond and the pond farmer, we also work towards generating certifications. We also encourage farmers, those who do organic farming, so they get more better credits based on the way they grow. So this is how we are somehow working towards, as a part in the environment, we are working towards reducing the impact of antimicrobial resistance to the aquatic creatures, and also we want to reduce the impact of antimicrobials to we humans when we consume those creatures. And apart from that, we at Robic Farm are also in collaboration with Confederation of Indian Industries for antimicrobial resistance program. So we at present are working towards mitigating with the people, those who do what say the supplements made out of organic substances. Let's say if a farmer is facing issue of disease to any creature that is growing, that specific disease, not just with the what say pure laboratory based medicines, uh, can be eradicated with the laboratory based medicines, but also can be eradicated with some of the naturally available sources. People do use lime water, people do use good, that is what say the brown sugar. Many organic what say organically grown substances can do help them with the implementations and reducing the disease effect to the creature. So we want, and we are actually building a society where not just the farmers, but also the technicians, the pond technicians, the laboratory technicians, the what say the suggestion providing people, those who give suggestions to the farmers while in criterias, and let's say if farmers call them aqua doctor, that's a new coin word. We call them aqua doctors, those who give better suggestions to the farmers. We are all we actually are collaborating all these kind of people into one platform where they can have the communications. We build a community out of it. We are building a community out of it where all the suggestions can be shared among themselves. We can also make better products apart from the English medicines and what say the deadly chemicals that can be used in water. our motive is to reduce that implementations, because even if we do at least 10 to 15% of our work in reducing the what say the laboratory grown antimicrobial substances, it's a great work that we are doing to our nature and the society and the environment. So apart from this, what exactly is we are working on is, let's say if we are recording, tracking, and implementing all the activities very good, then there is not even a chance or any what say the requirement will arise for using the inorganic AMRs in the ponds. So we want to do that. We want to make farmers more technically strong, more empathetic towards nature, where they don't use inorganic substances but use organic. And also, as we are conducting a certification program where farmers get more priorities, those who do in organic, this will help in reducing the usage of the microbial substances unnecessarily. Here, a scenario is again has to be pinned, where farmers, why do farmers use this kind of substances? Generally, in India, we don't have any policy to do vaccinations before a farmer gets any seed. Like seed vaccination policy is not there, not even in aquaculture, even though if it is not, this is not available in the poultry industry. So that's the reason why farmers are a person who has to take the headache of growing a creature and taking the responsibilities for any loss or profit that they get. So to reduce the loss, if at all there is any disease attack to the pond, a farmer in a pathetic condition do take this decision of adding EMRs or any chemical substances whenever there is the usage or the requirement. Let's say if it is a cyclone that is coming, he takes a precautionary what say the step where he adds any kind of medicines, any kind of substances without even consulting any technician, any doctor, or any physician. So because it's a headache to a farmer to protect his crop, he do take these actions. We can't blame him for not growing anything good. It's a compulsion situation where he can't uh, take his foot back. So when we credit them for doing good, it's a win-win scenario for him and to us, where we make a good culture where our farmers grow it organically and more healthy for the people and to the world. So AMR issues are not just with what say the aquaculture. It's also related to cattle. It's also related to other what say the economically growing, commercially grown crops. So here and now, when we say about AMR issues, it's in everything, not just in agriculture. But when we talk about AMR, the most substance that hits our body when consumed is through the aquaculture itself. So, to first step is to reduce AMR. Is to take actions towards aquaculture, growing technologies, and perspectives. So not just this, even AMRs are not just a precautionary; it's also what say the post subject of implementation too. There are many infections that do attack, and then a farmer notices it. When he takes an action, there are chances that it's too late and he might lose his crop. So even though he be using any substances to protect his crop, there are very less chances that he can actually incur it a profit out of it. So that's the reason why I say disease effects, antimicrobial effects is something that no one wants to happen. But if something happens, it's their responsibility to protect their crop, and they have no other choice to go with. So we can't blame them. And yes, we have to have our SOPs right. Basically, if we establish our SOPs better, it will be a better future for us and our next generations. And as I have mentioned, there are many scenarios. I have mentioned only one scenario that has been uh, to my notice directly from a doctor and what's it, a hospital institute. But there are many other issues because generally the this is basically happening because of a state Andhra Pradesh where farmers generally do aquaculture for export purpose rather than for having a domestic consumption. So yeah, I'm from Andhra Pradesh. I do accept it. The scenarios, what is going on. I've seen to many ponds where people do use some activities in addition of what say the substances whenever there is requirement. So this basic crop is being sold out to states, as I've mentioned, West Bengal and all. And I don't say this might be the only reason why these people get gastric issues, because in those states people do consume other what say the bad habits, that is smoking and other consumptions. But yeah, this might be one of the reason for their gastric issues. That's what we could see until the final clinical trials come out. But as a responsible company and citizen, so citizen, we are taking up some initiatives where we reduce the AMR usage in aquaculture. But we are too far from what we are supposed to do at present, because uh, the acceptance of kind of monitoring surveillance by any farmer in India is very much in a thinner line. So we do expect farmers do appreciate these kind of initiatives. This might be a issue with the earnings that they might incur, but once if we see the problem magnitude, it's a compulsion to do. And I request many of the government institutes to take this action up and encourage people like us to do much more in a better way, where we give data of the crop, uh, post from and sourcing to. So we want to have farm to fork data implemented at each and every stage, so that the buyer or the consumer could know from where and how the consumed food is getting out to them. So this is what we especially are working on. I still, I know I have very much in the initial stage that we are working on towards this. But yeah, we, as told, we have started the journey right now. And not just on the AMR. What we are working on is other aspects too, where we want to understand the creature under the water from a stage of seed uh, to a stage of commercially grown crop, so that we understand how a creature is behaving to what scenarios. Uh, let's say if there is a scenario of cyclone, how a creature is behaving under the water. If there is a scenario of uncertain rains, how a creature is behaving. If there is a scenario of huge temperature increase, that is in summers generally do happen, how a creature is behaving. Not just adult creature, we also want to record the data of the seedlings of the creature so that we understand how a seedling is behaving, how a adult creature is behaving, and upon that we can use or make a time to use any kind of applicables that are available, that are very much in an organic way, which we implement it to the water so that creatures are maintained well. So our priorities are not just to have a recording and give a certification to the farmer, but also to make them educate in a scenarios where farmers are being told with different kinds of implementations and the scenarios that I have mentioned before. And being a technocratic company, we want to record the happenings and show it to them as testimonies where they do understand physically and more appropriately how this will impact their crop and this will impact the society. So not just with the words that we want to tell them ki you should do this, we also want to act on it and make it more practical to the farmers when they do implement. And basically, the governance for this is more important because there was no policy before last 2 years to the government ki how to respond to this kind of AMR issues. Because even though now farmers are using lots of medications, lots of implementations or substances that can be to reduce the disease, to reduce the infections. Now, certain creatures are so resistant to what say the medication that they put, um, that no longer that specific species is being encouraged growing in India right now. Because if I say shrimp, in shrimp we have different kinds of varieties. There are vanamai, there are white shrimps, there are tiger shrimps, there are lot. So at present in India, we do only grow vanamais because vanamai is something that is not at being prone to antimicrobial resistance, but tiger prawns. They were very much popular at in the initial 2000 era. But now, in the present scenario, we do hardly see anyone growing tiger shrimps because they have been very much prone to the diseases and all right now. So yeah, this is what our motive is, where we get back some of the species that are very much good to compare to the present species, and make it more what say the easiest way to any farmer or any producer growing it. So hopefully I had very little bit of time to make this what say the subject available, because it was very much a sudden intimation to me while having this session. But hopefully, I'll get more information if at all a chance has been given to me again. And yeah, I am open to answer some of the questions if at all. Do shoot me for this short interaction program. Hello, hello, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kirti, for the present detailed talk. I'll take up some questions. Okay. So the first question is,
Yeah, ma'am.
so- okay. Mm, what are the main causes of antimicrobial resistance in aquaculture systems?
Ma'am, can you pardon me? Can you repeat it
What are,
again?
what are the main causes of antimicrobial resistance in, sorry, microbial resistance in aquaculture systems?
Yeah. As I've mentioned, in aquaculture, basically it's a game of huge amount or the investment. So generally, people when they get any site or when they have any doubt where the crop might be getting infected, they don't even think twice before using any kind of antimicrobials to protect their crop. And apart from that, as it's a substance where the water is getting involved, there are 99.99% chances that a issue will be arising, because in open fields there are many activities going on. There can be any crow that is flying nearby having something in the substance in the mouth, and if it just misses out with the beak, it might fall into a pond that might affect the substance itself might affect the creature that is being grown. So not just that, if even if I say if there is a tree in a pond, and if it does have any nest, that even itself is a danger to any farmer who is growing aquaculture, because even that incurs many kinds of bacteria and many kinds of insects the subjected to the ponds. So being so uncertain with the scenarios, uh, the farmer has no other option other than going out for implementations of what say antimicrobial substances usage to protect their crop. So yeah, this is the most prior reason to any kind of implementations and usage of antimicrobial substances in aquaculture.
Okay. And second question. Okay. How can emerging technologies help in reducing antibiotic usage in fish and shrimp farming?
So as I've mentioned, we are developing a kind of device that not just gives water quality parameter substances, but also have a camera to record, a scanner to have scanner where excuse me, a farmer can put their creature on. Let's say we are building a device which has a camera, which has a sensor for water quality testing, and also a scanner where they can place the creature on. So once the creature is being placed, so it depends on the creature, the scanner size basically. Shrimps will get smaller scanner size, fishes will get bigger, smaller scanners. So when once they do these activities daily, logging the font, giving a date where how much of the day a creature has been grown, Second, scanning the creature, taking the photos of the creature, uploading it to the database. It will make a ledger for each and every farmer and their pond, where they give all the datas. Let's say if it is for 90 days, 120 days, the tenure of the growth, what they're putting into the to the crop and the pond, they do it each and every day. They give data. And let's say if even giving the data, they trace out any what say a scenario where they're supposed to be implementing or using this kind of substances, they notify. Because as I've said, we can't blame each and every farmer completely and we say don't use it from tomorrow. We can't say that because it's a money factor, economical factor. They do have their independence. We do have our own independence in deciding whether I should go eating that kind of substance or not. Even though it's been intimated to the farmer, he haven't taken any action, but still the action has been taken. Though let's say he has taken it wrong, we can't do anything. We can't do anything. We are the one who has to decide whether to eat or not. Even if it is grown organically, we can go at any time, have a great food, taste it, and come back. But yeah, if, even if after the intimations, if farmer is using this kind of medicines and antimicrobial substances, we should as a responsibility we should reject using those. But yeah, as I've said, as the question was for the technology aspects, there is still a lot to be done with the technology aspect and the implementations of technology to reduce this kind of AMR implementations and after effects of the AMR. But anyways, we have taken a step forward that hasn't been taken for a long time. I hope so, specifically for aquaculture implementations.
Okay.
I
Yes.
hope I have answered the question the way it should be. But if you still have a doubt, I can have a brief call on that.
Yes. Okay. And what role do probiotics and biosecurity measures play in preventing diseases?
Ma'am, I'm really sorry. Can you once again?
1 minute. What role do probiotics and biosecurity measures play in preventing diseases?
Ma'am, I'm unable to hear.
1 minute. I'll just
Can
put
you?
in the chat box.
Yeah, yeah, that could be great.
I posted in the chat box.
So probiotics and what say the biosecurity measures play um, in preventing diseases are very much nominal when I say larger scope, because as I've said before, um, there are scenarios where farmers have been facing issues with the birds. So if I eradicate some of the issues like that, apart from those what say the scenarios, the role of probiotics and biosecurity measures are being generally taken care of by the the pond technicians and the farmers. They generally use water that are much more what say better in pH and what say the pH and temperature factors. But it also depends on the availability of water to them. Let's say if I talk about uh, uh, area in Andhra Pradesh that is more um, what say um, where the availability of water is more, basically beside the rivers. Those people, those who grow shrimps in the flowing areas of Godavari, Krishna River don't face the issues of water much frequently, because they do have availabilities of water throughout the year. So whenever they are supposed to take out the used water, they do. Whenever there is a requirement of new water coming in, they do. So it's a good aspect for them. But there are places where people do aquaculture, um, even though if they have the scarcity of water in those places. So what they do is they use the water that has been reduced out of the main pond. They subject it to sunlight for a longer 10 years and again use that water to grow the creatures. These kind of scenarios is something that don't give any biosecurity to play with, because the medicines, the feed, the decomposition of everything, the ammonias, the nitrates, those are subjected to the water that they previously had reduced from the main pond, is being used again in later periods when they don't have any water supply coming. And generally, aquaculture is something culture that is being celebrated more in the summer periods. And we know in the summer we at present have very low ground tables, and people those who don't have the river sources, they do bet on the bore waters. And yeah, they have a scenarios where they don't get water out of bore, and they are very much prone to use the used water itself again and again. And this specific scenario is something a place called is something about a place called Elur, a district in Andhra Pradesh, where they don't have any proper water availability, but they do aquaculture in a larger scales. But yeah, they are very much prone to the diseases, because uh, the groundwater table in the nearby places of Elur is been so much polluted, and people each and every time is getting subjected to hospitalizations and all, because of usage of kinds of medicines, feed, everything that they put in aquaculture. So this is something makes us more what say um, to be in a feared scenario where people for money are doing some activities not in a good manner, good way, and we don't know from where that specific food is being sourced, and we do it buy it for our enjoyment. May it be the Saturdays, may it be the weekends to enjoy with the family and all. We don't think about where it has been grown. We just think about, do we have that creature uh, cooked in for the menu to invite any family member. So yeah, this is all subject to the habits that we do have, but it's also a subject where people get restricted based on the sources or resources they do have available.
Okay, I'll take two more questions so that
Yeah.
we can wind up in by 6 o'clock.
Sure, man.
Next question I posted in the chat box.
So so with the question, how farmers monitor water quality and pathogen load to avoid infections. Um, yeah, as I've said, we have developed a device that gives parameter qualities to the farmers. We do use different kinds of sensors for different parameters, may it be for the pH, temperature, ammonia, nitrate, nitrites. So there are many ways. Even farmers do use other kind of technologies, the testing kits, whenever they have the doubt. But for pathogen loads, there is very much a tight scenario now, because water qualities can be understood each and every time, but pathogen load is something that has to be tested much more frequently. And we at present are working on the similar aspects. where we do use much more intense technology, not just with the sensors, but also with the other phenomena to understand the pathogen load. So yeah, we are working towards that to be implemented through technology, but it's not that we see in the nearby future coming out very good. So still, we are subject to improve that.
Okay. Are there any regulations or guidelines farmers should follow to control AMR?
Are there any regulations and guidelines farmers should follow to control EMR? See, at present, there is not much regulations and the guidelines that are being enforced by the government to the farmers. It's up to them to go with it or not. But as I say, uh, towards the society that we live in, to help that the farmers should implement some guidelines and regulations where they use only organic inputs, where they take care of the pond in a frequent way. Not because, see, in aquaculture what exactly happens is a farmer is not always a farmer. There he might be a big politician, he might be a big businessman who is having another source of income that is from aquaculture. So the pond technicians, what they hire to implement the activities in the pond, is who a person subject to take actions, and that should be very much appropriate action that he has to. But see, we know. If a technician is there, he might not have all the 100% responsibility to take with. So he might go with some of the errors that are human errors, I see. So some of the regulations, if I say, is in aquaculture is to be very much vigilant at the night times, and we humans do and supposed to get sleep at the night times, where we do have a scenario in the ponds, specifically between 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. at the midnight, where there might be a scenario of more CO2 getting developed under the water, and creatures crawling or floating out to the water to get more O2. So let's say if the pond technician haven't taken care of that and switched off the aerators, which are supposed to be switched on when this kind of creature activity happens, if he doesn't take care of that and take that step, there might be a scenario to the farmer where he has to take out the crop in not within just next 2 to 3 hours and make it to the market. So these kind of human activities, human errors are something that make implementations tough. But yeah, once we develop kind of technology where, let's say, if water quality parameter, that is DO, is getting below 4 ppm, and if my device is connected to the aeration system, it takes on the action where if a DO is getting below 4 ppm, it switch on the aerator systems. It also implements a device which has all kinds of oxygen tablets, which implement immediately into the water, will make a scenario better to the farmer and the technicians. So there are not good regulations and guidelines that are being enforced by the government. But yeah, it's high time that we do that. And personally, if I say, we can take some actions based on the data, based on the technology that we get from the data. Sorry, the data that we get from the technology and the technology that we could implement. So yeah, there are
Okay.
ifs and buts, but yeah, it's always a good to go if we have some guidelines made to us by us.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Kirti. So since we are running short of time, I won't be able to take further questions. So now we have
Yeah.
come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we'd like to thank you for
Thank you,
the
ma'am.
talk and answering all the questions in depth. So we'll be ending this meeting now. Have a good weekend and have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for the invite. I'm real sorry to make this delayed one, as I have some technical glitches and issues. But hopefully, I might had some made some impact the session. And thank you so much for inviting me, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.